going to hit record. All right, family, what we want to do now is we want to get into some of the meat of training. I'm going to kick things off. Let me share my screen real quick. Again, congratulations to Chanel. But now what we want to talk about is just our vision for the year. We talked about ambition and action. This is going to be just constantly what we're driving and what we're pushing towards, because we know everybody in this meeting on this call, you have a level of ambition. Well, what we want to do this year is we want to put that ambition in action. We talked about different ways to put that ambition in action through your attendance. You're here, so you're doing that just by being here. Personal development is another area, building back local, focusing on blooming where you're planted, wherever city you're at, that you're going to be focused on building your business there and bringing people on board there if you're looking to recruit and build an agency. So you're looking to build back local. And then, of course, creating a vision, right? We challenge you to create a vision for what you want out of this business, and really not what you want out of this business, but what do you want in life? Right? And then aligning your activity in this business to serve the things that you want in life. And so we talked about that last week. If you missed it, we've put the training out there on our YouTube channel. You can go out there and you can look at it on the YouTube channel. But what I want to do, man, I want to keep that same energy, Coach B Walk, man. We talking about personal development and growth. And there's a book that I want to reference. It's called The Compound Effect. If you took a picture of that slide that I put up a couple of weeks ago that showed some different areas of personal development and growth under the belief system area. I'm sorry, it wasn't the belief system area. It was actually the winning habits area. I got that off, but it still feeds into the belief system as well. But it's winning habits and belief system. The Compound Effect was one of those books. And guys, this is a super powerful book. It's by a gentleman named Darren Hardy. If you're familiar with the magazine, Success Magazine, I mean, if the magazine is called Success, what y'all think it's about? It's about being successful. So he was the editor-in-chief of Success Magazine, and he wrote this book, The Compound Effect. He wrote this book, and I was just kind of thumbing through it, Justin. I was like, man, I know it's just so many nuggets in here, and I was just looking for some things that stood out to me, and I didn't have to look far. I want to read you guys an excerpt from this book, right? And so I'm just going to kind of jump in, just kind of hang with me a little bit, guys. He talks about, as a society, check this out, we have been deceived. We've been hypnotized by commercial marketing, which convinces you of problems that you don't have and sells you on the idea of insta fixes to cure them, right? I'm gonna read that again. It says, we've been hypnotized by commercial marketing, which convinces you of problems you don't have and sells you on the idea of insta fixes that can cure them. We've been socialized to believe in the fairy tale endings found in movies, novels, and we've lost sight of the good old-fashioned value of hard and consistent work. Y'all ain't hearing me. He said, let's examine these hurdles one by one. I'm not going to go through all of them, but this is something he said. This is the topic. This is the heading right here in the book. It says, we haven't experienced the payoff of the compound effect. See, the compound effect is the principle of reaping huge rewards from a series of small, smart choices. Check that out, Quee. It says the compound effect is the principle of reaping huge rewards from a series of small, smart choices. Well, what do you mean by that? What's most interesting about this process to me is that even though the results are massive, the steps in the moment don't feel significant. I'm going somewhere with this. Whether you're using this strategy for improving your health, relationships, finances, or anything else for that matter, the changes are so subtle, they're almost imperceptible. These small changes offer little to no immediate results. So you don't see a lot of changes in the short term. It ain't no immediate results. No big win, no obvious, I told you so payoff. So why bother? And that's how people feel. Why bother? I'm not seeing an immediate payoff for these small actions, so why should I bother doing it? Well, most people get tripped up by the simplicity of the compound effect. For instance, they quit on the 8th day, or they quit after the 8th day of running and exercising because they still overweight. Or they stop practicing the piano after 6 months because they haven't mastered anything other than chopsticks. Or they stop making contributions to their IRA after a few years because they need the money. And it doesn't seem to be adding up to much anyway. What they don't realize is that these small, seemingly insignificant steps completed consistently over time would create a radical difference. Then he says, this is the formula, and I want to leave you with this. Small, smart choices plus consistency plus time equals a radical difference. Small, smart choices plus consistency plus time equals a radical difference. And I think that that same formula applies to us being in the business in the season that we're in right now. Who in here right now, just to be honest, you can raise your hand, or you can put the hand up emoji, or you can give me a thumbs up. Who in here right now, you feel that you can go to another level in your life, whether it's in your financial life, your health, your savings, all of that, just some key area. Everybody in here feel like, well, we can all do that. But I promise you this, family, it's going to take small, smart choices plus consistency plus time. And that's going to equal our radical difference. And where we get tripped up oftentimes, Daphne, is the time. How long is it going to take, man? Justin, dadgummit, I done been at this thing for 60 days, man. When is my ship going to come in? What's going on? We can get like that. But we got to give our effort time to compound, but we also got to be consistent. We can't be starting, stopping, confusing the process. We have to be consistent. So what I want to talk to you guys about tonight, and this is what I want to share, is I want to talk about the Primerica numbers game. The Primerica numbers game. Because make no mistake about it, teammates and family, Primerica, believe it or not, it's a numbers game, right? It's a numbers game. And there's a law in Primerica. It's called Primerica law. You have to learn, you have to accept, and you have to work the numbers. That's an acronym for law. Learn, accept, and work the numbers. If you're taking notes, you want to write that down. Man, I got to learn the numbers. I got to accept the numbers, and I got to work these numbers. I can't negotiate the price. I can't try to, go this way, am I right, Justin? Folks be trying like, well, has anybody seen that skit that Chris Rock did where he like, well, how much is a 3-piece chicken dinner? They say, man, it's $8. Well, what if I give you, and he keeps trying to negotiate the price. Has anybody ever seen that deal? Like, I mean, it's like a part of an old movie. Everything, like, well, how much is a Sprite? Well, the Sprite is going to be $2.50. What if I give you? See, you can't constantly be trying to negotiate, right? Because success is non-negotiable. Like, you can't negotiate at the counter of success. You got to pay the price in full if you want to receive what you're after. And so last week we talked about your 3 goals that you want to accomplish over the next 12 months that cost money. You should right now in your possession have your 3 goals that you want to accomplish over the next 12 months that cost money. If you haven't done that, I challenge you, teammates, to come up with and write them down. Don't type them in your phone. Actually, get a sheet of paper, write them down, because there's something, just that kinesthetic energy of just writing it out, that it sows it in, it burns it in your brain, writing it out. What are your 3 goals that you want to accomplish over the next 12 months that cost money? If you have those goals, then guess what? There's a blueprint. There's a strategy to get to those goals. And we're going to talk about that. And a lot of that has to do with the Primerica numbers game. Your success in Primerica, and Andrea knows this, your success in Primerica is a mathematical formula. And it ain't no hard one. It's literally kind of like a 1 + 1 = 2 type of formula. It doesn't get any easier than that. Am I right or am I right? Right? So your success in Primerica is a mathematical formula. Nick, what do you mean, man? It's a mathematical formula. You mean to tell me that that I can win at this business if I just follow the formula? Yes, you can. You can win and be successful if you make the decision to learn, accept, and work the numbers in Primerica. So let's talk about it a little bit and we can get into it together, right? So the Primerica numbers game. So this is a quote that I love. Check this out, B-Walk. It says, "In God we trust, all others must bring data," right? So what that means is that men lie, women lie, numbers don't, right? And so the person, this is a quote, W. Edwards Deming, "In God we trust, all others you got to bring some data," all right? And so let's talk about that data. See, Primerica is a numbers game. Knowing the numbers, listen to this. If you're taking notes, you want to write this stuff down. Knowing the numbers in this business can help you accomplish these things. This is what it can do for you. It can help you forecast your life insurance premium. How much life insurance premium are you going to write? It can help you forecast that. That's a pretty good, number to be able to forecast. You might want to do that. You might want to learn the numbers so you can kind of forecast that, right? Then it can also help you, forecast your income. How much money you're going to make in Primerica. Is that important to anybody? Man, it's important to me, right? Because when you're in this business, why not put yourself in a position to where, Miss Ruth, you can build a predictable and a recurring income. And it just ain't like I'm out here rolling the dice like I'm in Vegas, man. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna make. I don't know what it is. No, you should know that if you do these things, it should spit out this result that's gonna pay you this much money. It's that easy. And we're gonna talk about it. And then also, the Primerica numbers game, Miss Bridget, knowing the numbers, knowing these numbers can help you forecast the growth of your licensed team. It can help you forecast the growth of your licensed team. And I know for people like Marquis, people like Erica Phillips, Chanel, for Mike Johnson, people like that, man, I know that these things are important to them. Mom up in Philly, this is important to them, right? Forecast the growth of your licensed team, right? And then also, this is the important one, knowing the numbers can help you avoid frustration in the business. So our amazing upline National Sales Director, Stephen Coleman, his definition of frustration is the fruit of failed expectation. I think that that's genius, because I think that that's what frustration is. It's the fruit of failed expectation. You expected something to happen. You had an expectation. It didn't happen. And now you in your feelings, right? You might not be a peanut, but you sure salty. Come on, somebody. Yeah, your name ain't Peanut, but you salty though. You salty. I thought that Justin, you told me. See, I got Justin name all in the you told me's. You told me, Justin. You told me that this was supposed to be like, I got you. Well, let's look at it. Did the numbers work in your favor? You know what I'm saying? Because if you know the numbers, right? If you've learned the numbers, if you've accepted the numbers, you work the numbers, then, you can beat the numbers, but the numbers can't beat you. You can't beat the numbers, but the numbers can't be. So you got to do what you got to do. And that's the reality. And if you're a new person, and this is maybe your first training or your second training, oh my goodness, you just hit the lottery. Because I know you just joined this thing and you like, man, you might still be calling it Prime America and stuff like that. But what a training to step into if this is your first, second, or third training, to where we're actually going over what is it going to take for you to get results in this business mathematically. Like, you can control it. Y'all ain't hearing me. Am I the only one that's excited about that? Man, if you're a business owner, every business owner knows their numbers. They know their numbers. They know that, man, if this many people come through the door, listen to me, if this many people come through the door, we're going to do this much business, and this much business on average is going to produce this level of revenue, and this is going to be the profit. Y'all got to feel me on that. It's the same thing with Primerica, because Primerica is a real business. It's not a hustle. It's not a thingamabob. It's not a side thing, something like that. No, it's a business. If you treat it like a business, check this out. It'll pay you like a business. If you treat it like a business, it'll pay you like a business. But if you treat Primerica like a hustle, a thingamabob, a doohickey, or whatever you want to call it, right? It'll pay you like that. So I just want to equip you guys to look at it so you can get paid like a business owner. So I want to show you guys a cool quote. So I'm a Kobe Bryant fan. Wasn't always, but this cat was dope, man. When he was competing, he just wasn't, the Lakers wasn't my team, stuff like that. So I just didn't really get a chance to get to know Kobe. But after he retired and stuff like that, this is well before the tragedy, of him passing away in a helicopter accident. I just really caught wind of just his mentality, that Mamba mentality. And I just liked it, man, because I think that it's a mentality that's transferable to all arenas that you're trying to pursue and be successful at. And so he was doing an interview with Ahmad Rashad, who's a journalist and stuff like that. Some of you guys are familiar with him. And this is after he had suffered his third season-ending injury. He tore his rotator cuff and stuff like that. That's just a nasty injury. I know Mike Johnson knows something about that. As crazy as all get out. And but Ahmad was like, this is your third season-ending injury. You're 37 years old, man. Why don't you just retire? Why do you want to come back? And so this was his response to that question of, you just finished your 17th year. You were in your 17th year in the NBA. You're 37 years old. Man, why do you even want to come back, man? And so this was his response. He said, I want to see if I can. I don't know if I can. I want to find out. I want to see. What I'm going to do is what I always do. Check this out, y'all. I'm going to break everything down to its smallest form, smallest detail, and go after it day by day, just one day at a time. I want y'all to just read this for yourself. I know I just read it, but I want you to read it for yourself and just let it sink in. This was his mentality when he was already a Hall of Famer. He'd already had enough body of work, 5-time champion, just arguably on the Mount Rushmore of all players. That guy, your favorite basketball player's favorite basketball player. But one thing when I read it that stood out to me that I want to illuminate is this part right here. He says, I'm going to break everything down to its smallest form, smallest detail, and go after it day by day. And I think that with whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to do, you can get overwhelmed by all the details, all the different information. What do I focus on first? Do I do this? Do I do that? What do I? You need to break it down to the smallest detail. Where are you going with this, Nick? I'm about to tell you. If you want to be successful in Primerica and you want to really work these numbers, then we're going to break it down, Tam, to the smallest detail. We're going to break it down to the smallest detail. And it's one thing. It's one thing. There's other things that are important, but this one thing right here, this is the one. The smallest detail for you to concentrate on in Primerica, in the matrix, trying to figure this thing out. You are Neo in the matrix, right? Figuring this thing out is scheduling appointments in a qualified market. Y'all ain't hearing me. That's the smallest detail. Scheduling appointments in a qualified market. If you can key in and focus in on that detail and do it at a high clip, your success in Primerica is inevitable. Somebody got to get excited about that. Scheduling appointments in a qualified market. That's what it boils down to. Well, I know some of you guys may be new and you're like, well, Nick, I get it and it makes sense, but I got a question. What's a qualified market? I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. Okay, we getting there. All right, family, this is a qualified market. So a qualified market Is anybody that you're looking to schedule an appointment with that has the characteristics that we're going to put up? People that are employed full-time and between age 25 and 55. I know we have been talking 25 and 50. We're moving it back up to 55. Between 25 and 55, that's the age range. Anyone that's between age 25 and 55, that's our age range. And someone that is employed full-time. These two things are non-negotiable. The employed full-time between age 25 and 55, that's the target market. They must have those two characteristics in order for them to be qualified. If they are under the age of 25 or over the age of 55, it doesn't put them in a qualified market. I need y'all to hear me on that. Those two at the bottom that are in red, they're in red for a reason. Those are the non-negotiables. You want to stay in that pocket for the success of what I'm about to tell you. Now, there is a market for people that are over the age of 55, especially for our securities licensed people, folks that are right on the threshold of retirement. They're about to, there's a whole market for securities and investments for people that are over the age of 55. Anybody securities license, if you hear the words in-service withdrawal, in-service distribution, the hairs on the back of our neck just kind of stand up. We get super excited. Can I get an amen from the securities license people?
A to the man.
There it is. All right. And you can't do an in-service withdrawal or distribution unless you're age 59 and a half or older and still working. So there is a market for people that are over age 55. But what we're talking about is the market for our foundational service, which is life insurance, right? Which is the first license that you get here in this business, right? What's the target market for that? I'll tell you. People that are between age 25 and 55 and employed full-time. Now, the others at the top, married, homeowner, kids under the age of 18, we want them to have at least one of these characteristics along with the bottom two. If a person that you're thinking about meeting with has the bottom two, and they have at least one of the top three, of the three that are on top, family, that person is in a qualified market. And if you schedule an appointment with them, that is considered a qualified appointment, right? Simple enough. Any questions about that? Everybody got me? Give me a thumbs up if that's easy enough. That makes sense, right? That's what it is. That's our target market for what we're talking about. If you want to learn the numbers, accept the numbers, and really work these numbers, then that's the first step. These numbers that I'm going to show you, they really only work in the qualified market. If something is off with your numbers, I challenge you to look at your market. I challenge you to look at your market. All right. And so if we are in a qualified market, then everything that I'm about to show you in the math, it all is going to happen like it's supposed to happen. So these are some honorable mentions that I want to put with those qualified market deals. And I know that people that are out in the field, they will agree with me on this. These are some honorable mentions. People with the right mentality, people that have good health, and people that have a clean background. Let's start with the right mentality. We want people to have the right mentality because, man, they could be between age 25 and 55, employed full-time, got a good job, right? Married, got a kid under the age of 18, and a homeowner. But if they're a person walking around saying, I don't believe in life insurance, if I pass away, they just gonna have to figure it out. My goodness, that's the wrong mentality. And they can have the need, they can have all that type of stuff, but if they have the wrong mentality, it just cancels all that other stuff out. So having the right mentality is extremely important. Now, the right mentality can make an unqualified person qualified. What does that mean? When I joined Primerica, I had the age and I was employed full-time, but I was not a homeowner. I did not have children and I was not married. So technically I was unqualified, but you know what I did have? I had the right mentality. Nobody had to convince me to buy life insurance. Nobody had to convince me to start saving and investing money. Why? Because I was interested. Once I got educated and they bridged my knowledge gap, they bridged my value gap. I said, I need that. Right? I tell this story all the time. I met with a young lady. She had just graduated from Texas A&M. She had an engineering degree. She was working in New Jersey. I ran the field training appointment with a new recruit at the time. And I sat down with this young lady, and she was like, Nick, I had already talked to the new recruit's name. What was her name? It was Krista. So I already talked with Krista, and I told her that I want $500,000 in life insurance. I said, whoa, hold on a second. I said, you want 500? I said, are you married? She was like, no. You have kids? She was like all of maybe 25 years old, 24 years old, something like that. Just graduated from college, all that good stuff. I said, let me ask you something, sis. I think that's amazing what you're saying. You want $500,000 in life insurance coverage. You have no kids. You just graduated, all the type of stuff. Why do you want that much coverage? She said, because if something happens to me, I want to make sure that my mama is well taken care of. And I said, my sister, you have the right mentality. And she still has that policy to this day. To this day. So the right mentality, there's something to be said about that, right? And then, of course, good health. That's an honorable mention. We want to make sure that anybody that we're meeting with, they got to be able to medically qualify for the insurance. So good health, that is a premium. Then also a clean background. A clean background. What do I mean by that? Felonies and things like that can hinder a person from being able to get coverage through us. And that's really with a lot of insurance companies. So having a clean background. So these are honorable mentions right here. All right. And so let's take it a step further. So this is the math. These are the numbers that I want you to write down. So if you're like, well, Nick, get to the numbers. This is it right here. Right. So this is what I want to share with you guys. What is our average annual life insurance premium per life app that we write? What is our average annual premium per life app that we write? Basically, what is our average app size? When we write a life insurance policy as a hierarchy, what is our average life insurance app size, right? So the answer to that question, this is a number that you need to know because this number will help you forecast, is 876. 876. That equates to a $73 a month life app, right? That's the average life insurance app size that we write as an organization. It's going to be $73 a month. Now, some apps are more than 73. Some apps are less than 73, but what it averages out is about 73, right? And when you do 73 times 12, that makes 876 in annual premium, right? That's a key number. Write that number down and make sure that you remember that number. Write that number down. We're going to come back to that. All right. This is a big one right here. You want to pay close attention to these numbers. What percentage of the qualified appointments that you schedule will actually stick? What percentage of the qualified appointments that you schedule will actually keep their appointment? Well, the number for that is 50%. Check this out, family. 50% of the qualified appointments that you schedule will stick, meaning that if you schedule 8 qualified appointments, you're probably going to have 4 of them that stick. You may have a little bit more, right? But you're going to probably bank on about 4 of them sticking. And that's what it is. That's the reality, right? Well, what happens to the other 4? Justin, what do we always say to that? What happened to the other 4 that didn't stick?
Who shot Biggie?
Who shot Tupac? Who shot Biggie? Who shot Tupac? We don't know.
Suge had something to do with it.
They said Suge had something to do with it. We don't know, man. We don't know. And so that's the same answer. I don't know what happened to them. They got abducted by aliens. Some of y'all people might went into the witness protection program because they saw too much and they knew too much. And now they on the run. And so they in the witness protection program. And you'll never see or hear from them again. It's the reality. I know that's right, MK. R.I.P. Tupac. I think Suge had something to do with it, but we don't know. And I guess what? You don't know either. You don't know why people reschedule, cancel, and go and then never hear from them again. But you know what? You don't worry about that because that's not a number that you're concerned with. Now that you know the numbers, you know that if you schedule some qualified appointments, about 50% of them are gonna stick. Now, here's the deal. This is a major key in that number. That 50% situation, it only works if you're scheduling a minimum of 4 appointments. Listen to me. The 50% rule only works if you're scheduling a minimum of 4 appointments. Well, Nick, I scheduled 2 appointments. Wasn't one of them supposed to stick? Both of them canceled. What's going on here? Well, it only works if you're scheduling a minimum of 4. All right. I need you to understand that and get that. All right. For 50% of your appointments, they're qualified. They're going to stick. The other 50%, they're going to reschedule. They're going to cancel, whatever the case may be. Now, you might be in a great market. You have amazing credibility where every appointment that you schedule will stick. Man, God bless you. But as you continue to do this business and you get further and further away from your warm market, your hot market, and you get into a referral market, then I promise you these numbers right here, they'll start to kind of shake out. That's the reality. But guess what, guys? You got to be excited right now. Now that you know this number, you can't be frustrated. Now that you know this number, you can't let it frustrate you. If an appointment cancels or reschedules or anything like that, why? Because it was supposed to do that. Just make sure that you schedule it enough. You schedule enough appointments that you have enough that will stick. Now, what's the next one? This is a big one too. What percentage, Mia, of the qualified appointments that stick will actually buy life insurance? So, Nick, I had some appointments that stuck. What percentage of them are going to buy life insurance? I'm glad you asked. Well, that number is also 50%. 50%. 50% of the appointments that stick will buy life insurance. 50%. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm kind of seasoned with mine. I try to stack the deck in my favor. I think my closing ratio, Justin, is a little bit above 50%. I'll just say that. But for everybody else, y'all go by the 50%. I'm joking, y'all. I'm joking. B-Walk like, wait a minute, my closing skills kind of all that too now. Hold on a second. I ain't no Rudy Food over here, man. My pen game strong over here, FVP. I got you, B-Walk, yeah. B-Walk, Super J like, whoa. Hold on a second. We getting active over here. Closing business over here. All right, well, if you're RVP above, you know what I'm saying? You might be a little bit above 50%, stuff like that. Everybody else, man, get like us. I'm joking, y'all. But use the 50% number. I do. I still use the 50% number. If I'm beating 50%, I'm praising God. I'm playing the scratch off Daphne. I'm just feeling real lucky, you know. So I might hit the lottery or something. So just know that. That's your forecast number is 50%. 50% of your appointments that stick will actually buy some life insurance from you. That's the deal. 50%. So let me give y'all a quick tip. And I'm maybe getting ahead of myself a little bit. If your goal is to close 4 life apps in a month, if your goal is to close 4 life apps in a month, and you're starting at the beginning of the month, listen to me, then what you need to do is you need to schedule 4 qualified appointments a week. Y'all get what I'm saying? If your goal is to close 6 life apps in a month, then you need to schedule 6 qualified appointments a week. If your goal is to close 8 life apps in a month, 8 life sales in a month, then you know where I'm going with this. You need to schedule 8 qualified appointments a week. The connection and the correlation is whatever amount of life apps you want to close in a month, that is the exact number of qualified appointments that need to be scheduled every week. Notice I didn't say run, I said schedule. Are y'all with me? That's the connection. Y'all, I'm telling you right now, just by you all hearing me say this, you now know more than 80% of the people in Primerica. I'm serious, y'all. 80% of the people in Primerica don't know that information. I want to test your knowledge, right? I want to test just to make sure y'all listening, right? Somebody come off mute and tell me what I just said. Sum it up for me as far as the number of appointments were equal to the number of sales. What did I just say? Because I'm saying it and y'all divide me on here like, what did you just hear me say? Somebody come off mute for me and repeat it back to me.
If your
You
goal
just said
is,
you said 8 appointments. The number of appointments you make, half of them going to keep. The number of appointments they keep, half of them going to do a sale.
That's it. That's it. That's part of what I said. I appreciate that, Uncle Mike. Daphne, I'm calling on you next. Talk to me, sis. What was the other part? What else was I saying?
you also said if you set a goal for 6 or 8 appointments a month, you have to do that same amount per week in order to solidify that 6 to 8 for that month to close out that month.
That's it. So what she's saying is that whatever my number of life closes I want to close in a month, that is the exact number of qualified appointments that I have to schedule a week. Not appointments that I have to schedule. They have to be qualified appointments that I have to schedule a week. All right. Do y'all got that? Please let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you got that. Because I don't want anybody leaving here saying, why is my business not moving? Why am I not getting no success? Well, it's either going to be one of a few problems. Either it's going to be an activity issue, meaning that you don't have enough appointments. It's going to be a market issue. Listen to me. If you're writing notes, you want to write this down. It's going to be an activity issue. It's going to be a market issue. What do I mean by that? You're not in the right market. You're in a non-qualified market. Or it's going to be a skill issue. It's a skill issue. It's one of 3 challenges. Activity, meaning you ain't got enough appointments. Market, you in the wrong market. That's why you ain't closing. That's why you're not getting success. Or it's a skill. You got to work on your skill. You got to work on your skill. But if you're still in the field training process, your trainer should have some skill. You know, yeah, we gonna get to it. We're gonna get you some results.
Hey, Nick, I want to say something.
Talk to us, man.
So your trainer, you know, definitely should fit the script in terms of the skill and should be able to get you the results that you need. But none of us can overcome a credibility issue. It's just what it is. So you can be getting those names and numbers, right? And you can be calling them too. And you can be getting frustrated with what's going on if you're in the wrong market. So I'm glad that you said that, Nick, because people can be like, man, I'm calling folks, I'm doing this, I'm getting names and numbers, but I'm not getting. So if it's not the skill set, like you said, you definitely need to check. Is it the market? Is it the person that's sending you to these folks? What's their relationship? Right? Because that's going to determine your ability to get in front of them and ultimately close them.
Facts, all day long. Thank you for that, Super J. Any other RVPs? A-Town, B-Walk, anything y'all want to add before we move on? All right, cool.
I would just say that, I was just saying that, you know what, everything that Super J just said is absolutely right. And in addition to that, man, shout out to Mike and Daphne. I don't know whose team Miss Daphne is on, but come on, girlfriend with the notes. I love it. And so, yes, if you are out there and you are trying to figure out how to do this business, this information is absolutely key. You have to know what our average app size is. You have to know what are the percentages of the people that you sit in front of that will close. And you have to know how to run your team and your business. And so shout out to everybody that came off mute and kind of gave some notes and also some things in the chat. I'm in the chat. And so thank you, Nick. This is some great information. Thank you.
Fantastic, fantastic. Awesome sauce.
Real quick. Thank you, A-Town. So Daphne is from Blessed Dynasty. So great job, Daphne, on that. The putting some goals in place is very important. And so understanding, I think Super J just put it in the chat, no less than 4. You know, we're always aiming for 4 when you actually come through the door, right? You're told by your field trainer 4 to 6 appointments per week. And so you want to always aim for those 4 appointments. And y'all, numbers don't lie. Men lie, women lie, but numbers will never lie. So even if you're saying, I'm on appointments, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but the results are really going to show up. I'm telling you. So make sure that you are actually scheduling those appointments, you know. And so I just want to add that, but great job, Mike, as well. And I'm gonna hand the mic back over to Nick.
Fantastic, guys. Thank y'all so much. Man, we rocking and moving right along. Let's keep it going. With that, man, great stuff, great input. And so one of the things I want to talk about is what is the average number of new recruits that will actually pass their life insurance exam and get licensed, right? I need you to know this. Some of y'all might think, hey, I got a recruit that automatically, means that they're going to go get their life insurance license. I wish that was the case. That's not always the case. It's not. So there is a ratio and a number for that. Right? This is the number for our organization. Now, the company has a number, but our organization, this is the number that we strive for. And if we can improve this, hey, man, we're all for it. And so the average number of new recruits that we bring on board that get their life insurance license is 1 out of 3. 1 out of 3 people that come on board to join this business will get their life insurance license. The company averages around 15 to 18%, right? And so that's Primerica's average. Our average, we wanted to be around 30, 33%. That's the number that we're shooting for, right? And so if you have somebody that joins your business, but they don't go get licensed, don't get frustrated, don't get down on yourself. Hey, those are the numbers, right? And just know that. But if you have a string of luck and everybody's getting licensed, man, praise God for that. We're not gonna speak against that, but just understand these are some of the numbers, all right? Another number, I just want to put y'all on notice. Notice that I did not show recruiting numbers. Notice I did not show recruiting numbers. We used to do that, but now we're in a season where we're doing a lot of selective recruiting. That's our process. Recruiting should be a selective process. We're not necessarily scattering the opportunity out to everybody, right? We're selectively recruiting. We're looking for people that through the process that we take them through to become clients that we're seeing, hey, are you available? Are you credible? Are you coachable? There's probably some people in this meeting right now to where the person who recruited you in, they said, hey, listen, I don't offer this to everybody, but I'm offering it to you because I see a lot in you and I would love to be in business with you. Let me tell you something. They're telling you the truth. You were actually handpicked, like you were chosen, like, hey, you have certain tangibles and intangibles of a person and characteristics of somebody that we want to work with. And so we're selecting recruits. So I can't really give you recruiting numbers and ratios and things like that because that's a selective process that we're doing right now. All right. And so just to kind of keep it going, I'm gonna keep it moving. So this is how compensation works. I know you guys have been wondering and stuff like that. Well, Nick, how much money can I make and on my contract and stuff like that? Well, I'm glad you asked, right? So remember, we said that our average life insurance app size that we write is $73 a month. What I'm about to show you guys is how you can forecast your money, how you can forecast your income. Does anybody want to forecast the amount of money that they make? And hold on, let me unshare my screen so I can see the man. Anybody want to be able to forecast like, man, I want to make $1,000 this month. I want to make $2,000, $2,500 this month. How do I do that, right? How can I do that? What does that mean I need to do? This, what I'm about to show you is going to show you exactly that. It's going to show you exactly that, right? And so here we go. Now, this is all based on your personal production. I know some of you guys might have teams. We're not factoring in overrides and all that stuff. This is just personal production, right? Because you can't control other people, but you can't control your own activity, right? So using that average $73 a month, $73 life app, this is how you calculate commission. You take that $73 life app or any other life app that you write, you take that size of that life app and multiply it by 12 because there's 12 months in a year. That equals $876 in annual premium. Now it gets a little bit more technical. I'm just being very simple with this. $876 in annual premium. What you do, you minus out a $65 annual policy fee. That's the new annual policy fee is $65. That's $811 in commissionable premium. That's what the company calls it, commissionable premium. This is what that means. For that $73 a month life app, you take that commissionable premium and then you multiply it by whatever agent contract percentage that you're on. If you're a rep, you're on a 25% contract. If you're a senior rep, you're on a 35% contract. District, 50%, division leaders, 60%, regional leader, you're on a 70% contract. RVP and above, we're on a 110% contract. That's our contract percentage. And so what that equals is your total agent commission. When you do all of this math, these numbers, that equates to your total agent commission. Whatever your monthly life app is, multiply by 12, do this math right here, multiply by your contract percentage, that's your total agent commission. But Primerica pays advanced commissions. So your advanced commission, so when you write a policy, you're going to get 75% of that total agent commission up front. That's what gets direct deposited into your account within 48 hours, is the 75% advanced commission. So let's look at this. If you wrote a $73 a month life app as a rep, 25% contract, your total commission is going to be $202.75 a month. As a senior rep, it's going to be $283.85. District, $405.50. Now, keep in mind, guys, this stuff really probably only took you an hour and a half to do this, and you made this much money. Division leader, $486.60. Regional leader, $567.70. RVP made $892.10. Now, this is the advanced commission, what gets paid out to you within the first 48 hours of writing that policy. This is the 75% advanced commission at each level. The rep is $152.06, senior rep $212.88, district $304.12, division $364.95. Y'all get the numbers, right? Now, the difference between those two things is called earns. So the difference between your total commission and your advanced commission is called earns. That gets paid out to you in the 10th, 11th, and 12th month that the policy that you wrote on that client stays in force. If that policy does not stay in force for the 10th, 11th, and 12th month, you will not receive your earns. Are y'all with me? So earns, they call that the hidden product. You just get a residual check in the 10th, 11th, and 12th month that these policies stay in force. So you want to keep your policies in force so you can get paid your total commission and not just the advanced commission. Is everybody with me? I didn't lose anybody. Give me a thumbs up still if you're still with me. All right. And so that's the commission. If you want to take a screenshot of this, go ahead and take a screenshot. There it is for you. This is the comp that you can use to forecast how you can get paid. If you are a district leader and you say, man, I want to make $1,000 in 1 month, well, that means that you need to write about 3-4 sales because your advanced commission on the average app size is going to be $304. So you do 3 to 4 of those, you making $1,000. Does this make sense, y'all? That's what it is. That's what it is. And so you can use these numbers that I just told you to actually forecast. Hey, I want to write 5,000 in premium this month. If that's your goal. Well, if the average app size is 876, what you do is you divide 876 into 5,000, and that'll tell you how many apps you need to write. Are y'all with me on that? Can y'all feel me? It'll tell you. And then basically how many apps you got to write, that'll tell you how many qualified appointments you need to schedule a week. Are y'all following? It's all what you can forecast. If you say, hey man, I want to make $1,000 this month, what you want to first start with is, what is your advance commission on your contract level on a $73 a month life app? Because that's the average app size. So whatever that commission is, okay, I'm a senior rep. Okay, you take that average advance commission, divide it into 1,000. That tells you how many apps you're gonna need to write on your contract level. Stay with me. And then however many apps you need to write on your contract level, that equates to the number of qualified appointments that you need to schedule on a weekly basis. Can y'all see how easy this is? It's a mathematical formula. It's a mathematical formula. Now, some of y'all are in great markets. Y'all writing apps that are, they writing apps that's $120 a month, $140 a month. Y'all, yay. Your commission is just gonna be bigger. Y'all with me? So listen, what we just gave you is the math, right? It's the Primerica law. You've learned the numbers. Now all you got to do is accept the numbers and work the numbers. And I promise you, family, you will be great. All right. And that's all I got. Thank y'all.